Hi, it's Stefani Greenfield. Here I am in the middle of New York City's fashion district, the heart of the garment center, on my way to meet Gerard Yosca, the ultimate craftsman. You know, I've known him for 10 years, but I don't really know what's in his heart and his soul and what makes him tick. So we're gonna find out together and I can't wait. Let's go. There are jewelry designers, and then there's Gerard Yosca. Gerard Yosca has captured the world's attention with his bold, colorful, whimsical designs. After training at Parsons in New York, Gerard began experimenting in clothing design and soon found his true calling. It was Gerard's butterfly pin that started the hair clip craze and brought enamel back to high fashion. His innovative, trend-setting work has led to collaborations with fashion's top names, including Oscar de la Renta and Ralph Lauren. Behind it all is a genuine passion for craftsmanship and artistry, which are at the core of Gerard's singular vision and signature style. Hi, I'm Stefani. Oh, there he is.
Hi, how are you?
Long time.
I know.
How are you?
I'm great. You're looking great.
Thank you. Where are we going?
This way. Let's go back.
Now, we don't want to date ourselves. You know, how many years we know each other. So let's just say we met in high school, right?
One or two.
So where am I now? I feel like I'm in Santa's workshop.
Okay, yeah, well, clearly you are. This is the design room now. This is the playroom.
I'm so excited. So what am I looking at here? I see it says spring.
Spring, yes. What I feel spring is about.
The whole spring 70s trend, the fluid dressing that's happening that we saw going down the runway.
You know, you work with two things. You're working with the colors that go with the trends.
Right.
Or the clothing, and you're also talking about the shape. Things are looser this season.
Yeah,
There's a lot of this going on.
Softer.
So I'm feeling longer, but I'm also feeling an interesting construction here. Like if you look, you know, here we're starting to lay out some pieces. This is a necklace, you know, that maybe might go into a linen cording or something.
Okay, I love this color turquoise. It almost looks like the brides of last year left out in the sun to bake.
Right, I'm crazy about this. And this looks kind of like, a
do you
red
see what I'm
sour
doing?
bowl or something.
Yeah, I'm taking off and I'm putting on, I like this.
Oh, that's all right, it's just laid in there, that's good.
Oh, I didn't realize, am I breaking it up
No,
here?
you're not breaking anything. This is all sort of sketched out where we're
Gerard,
going.
look at this. Loving.
Thank you, thank you. There's a giant earring that is look at this. Like this is where,
Okay.
and you can see that it's very artsy, craftsy. Everything looks.
And I love it. I mean, it's a
There's a
statement
hand in
without being overdone. And I think that's exactly what your signature is. And how do you evolve this signature? Take me down here, because here we're getting into more pearl-like stuff.
Well, you know, we were talking before, and I was saying how much I changed. That's why I consider myself a fashion designer, not a jewelry designer. And here are some pieces that we did for fall, and this was from the country part of it. And you see that there is, there are like little geodes and things that look dug up, and it's very rough. You might wear this to the craft show in the muddy field.
Yeah, I mean, this is truly a collectible work of art.
Well,
amazing.
thank you.
Amazing. Okay, I'm obsessed. Can you send this to me? I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it. There's so many things a woman can do here. Don't you feel your pieces are so versatile?
It's playtime.
That's what I love about what you do.
Every day is an opportunity to play dress up.
This is a Stefani candy store. I mean, once again, this is what you want to wear to a Christmas party, give it as a gift.
I hope so. But look at this. This was all so crunchy and country-ish, and then you get here, and it's futuristic. It's cleaner.
And it's not a knockoff. You know what? It's nobody else's but yours, Gerard.
Right.
And I love that everybody's getting to see where it comes from, where it starts.
What's interesting is sometimes we reference, I went through old collections and referenced shapes and ideas. We spend a lot of time coming up with ideas, how to construct something. So here, it's just like a bead and it has two tiny pearls, but they're wrapped in a way. So let's do that on a pendant and blow it up here.
This is just a step in the journey, and it continues.
The parts come back. Little bits and pieces come back and they turn into something new. Look, we used to do it in the 80s. We did earrings that were this big.
Yeah.
At one point, they became brooches in the 90s.
And also, if you don't chase a trend, if you're not about a fad, nothing is ever old. You might even tuck it away, but I love the resurrection. So I love the fact that you're constantly picking up at places where you left off.
And you know what's nice about resurrecting?
Yeah.
Jewelry always fits.
I love that. Jewelry always fits. And that's why it's so easy to shop online with you, because you don't have to try it on.
Exactly.
You could almost stand next to your computer or print a picture, cut it out. You know, the girl on Gilt, she could put it up against her dress and see if it works.
I drove them crazy one day. I bought eyeglasses on Gilt, and I
Right.
glue them up, and I cut them out, and I put them on my face, walk around, how do these look? How do these look?
And people would have thought you were crazy, but meanwhile, it's genius. And I hope everybody watching this takes that as a tip. So hello, Mr. Gerard Yosca. It's been a long time.
I know. I don't know why we don't do this more often.
I know. Trust me, it's better than half the places I have to go. You know, Gerard, when I speak with you, I know I'm, having this fabulous dialogue with an amazing and successful jewelry designer. But, you always come across to me like an artist. I never think of your jewelry, mass produced or somewhere on a conveyor belt. Talk to me a little bit about, the artist that you are as a designer and what you feel is just overly saturated in the market and mass produced, and the difference, and how the customer should really know, what value is and what they're paying for.
It's interesting. All of our collection is made here, and that's really important to me. We can control it. It's a limited production. We really try and make each piece something that lasts.
Collectible?
Exactly. I'm a flea market kid. I love finding something that, like, wow, look how old this is, and it still looks good. I feel as if people have been losing their sense of what is the value in a piece. There's so much stuff out there. And I know that my mother could sew and knit and do all of these things. She was an artist. And she taught me what you look for in a jacket, how it should fit, how armholes should be. And I know those things.
Yeah.
And I'm not so sure that all of that information is being passed down now.
So you don't feel the consumer is as educated, and it's really ironic with all this information out there. We're right on the information highway. You feel that there's a lack of education for them to understand why they're paying for something and what it's made of.
Well, there's so much information that it's actually just noise. It's not important information.
Very well put.
I try and sell my jewelry through small specialty stores because they have staff that understands what goes into a piece and can actually educate their customer and say, well, look at these stones, they're hand cut. This is not a mass-produced piece. This is all hand soldered.
And do you think that makes a woman feel more special and more beautiful?
Absolutely. It puts value in the piece she's decided to fall in love with.
I don't think any woman wants the look for less. They want the look. How do you feel about that?
I think that when you have less money to spend, buy fewer pieces, but buy a good one.
So you're saying invest in your pieces. And invest doesn't mean thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars.
It means
it could be
if you have $5 to spend, don't buy 5 $1 things, because those are the pieces that end up in the drawer with the spare keys and the tax. It's junk. Buy the $5 piece.
So do you feel that the Gerard Yosca pieces are investment pieces? And it's not about money, but things that will, transition from season to season, from year to year, from mother to daughter?
Absolutely. People come in all the time wearing old things that remember these, and I'm trying to live it down. But no.
But that's a moment in time.
Yes.
That's a moment in time when it's something you can't get rid of.
But it's also, the things I make are a little so weird or a little, left of center that you can't really say that it's this season.
But actually, your pieces are so beautiful, and they celebrate nature and they celebrate color.
There's a lot of classic stuff in there.
How would you describe your signature look? Because I think you have a signature.
I have a signature. You know what? It comes because I make the things. I sit at a workbench and make most of my own models. This all came about because I started my business in my kitchen and had no money to pay someone to do anything, so I figured out how to do it. And so you still see my fingerprints and things. You see that, things are a little crooked, and I love that about them because they have a personality.
So if I was walking into, let's say Henry Bendel, and there is just a smattering of jewelry, how would I know it's Gerard Yosca without seeing your name, in front of the jewelry? How would I know?
It's usually bold. There's an organic feel to it, even when it's very refined. It's adventurous.
I think that really, you design very, aside from beautiful jewelry, you design very happy and optimistic product, and you never chased a trend. Just talk to me about that for a minute.
Well,
why don't you chase trends?
Because they're not my trends.
So you set your own trends.
Oh, absolutely. It's important to, I know where I'm going. And it's also, one of the things about when a woman puts on a piece of my jewelry, I think it makes her feel more like her vision of herself.
Describe what you feel makes a woman look beautiful and what makes a woman look beautiful in your things.
I think confidence. It's always about confidence. When somebody, when a woman puts on a piece of jewelry that she's chosen, she's looked at them all and said, I love this one, and she puts it on. You see it in their face.
And it lights up.
Oh, that makes me very happy. I think that makes a woman beautiful.
Let's talk about that someone. Who do you design for? Who is the Gerard Yosca woman?
She has a sense of humor. She is not shy. She embraces what is new.
And how old is she? Is she defined by age?
No, she's really not, because my daughter used to wear, 12 necklaces, to school when she was in high school. So I always say I sell the cool girl, I sell her mom, I sell her grandmother. There is always something in the collection that speaks to someone.
I have a theory, and tell me if you agree or disagree or what your theory is, that women want other women to admire them, and women want men to date or marry them. So to serve two purposes, can you do that with your jewelry?
I think you can. I think you may have to change the clothing that's under it, but no, I think you can.
And do you think your jewelry is a turn on to men when a woman wears a piece of jewelry? Because, it is not erotic. It is not something that's totally in your face. It's really feminine and beautiful, your look. Do you think that's an object of desire when a man looks at a woman wearing one of your pieces?
I think that if she feels really pretty in it, if she feels interesting,
romantic,
if she's in herself, I think he notices it. I think it does make her more attractive.
I would love to hear, after the first date wearing Gerard Yosca, ... What happened?
All that was left was the earrings.
What are the most fabulous things you've heard from women who wear your jewelry?
There's one, my favorite
I want to hear it. Tell me.
When someone says, every time I wear that necklace, the one, people stop me and say, where did I get it?
Do you get chills from that?
I love it because I see she is so happy.
Does it get any better though?
Who doesn't want to leave the house and have somebody go, oh, you look great?
Well, I'm going to tell you one of my favorite moments.
Tell me.
You know me, I've always had long hair, and I used to wear my hair in a ponytail, and I would separate it in all these little pieces, and I would put in all these different bobby pins. And I was coming home from Paris, from the shows, and it was one of those bad hair moments that I put in all my Gerard Yosca pins.
Thank you.
And I happened to have a good, Gerard Yosca moment. And everybody on the plane, they didn't know who I was, and they didn't know who this crazy lady was with all these pins. But I have to be honest with you, one of the market editors came up to me and said, hi, I'm blah, blah. I don't even remember her name. And she said to me, I cannot believe that you had the guts to wear all of those pins in your hair. She said, but you know what? Can I take a picture? And this is even before digital cameras. She took a Polaroid and pasted it in her book. And that was my moment. I thought I was the coolest person because, I put all these things in my hair because I was having the worst hair day. And I took it all. I took everything that you would design, one of everything.
I'm glad
put
you
it in
had
my
that
head
moment.
and I got stuck. I had that moment.
Thanks for sharing. But, and those funny little butterflies, those came directly out of the arts and crafts thing that I used to do, because when I was a kid I used to do decoupage and cut out these old German scrap art butterflies and glue them onto wood and varnish them. And I was trying to figure out, I wanted to do some hair accessories, and I thought, what's going to be different? And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be great if I could do something that looks like those old little paintings? So we did some butterflies, and every one was hand painted.
Right.
I mean,
wow.
When they got really big and popular, other companies took ours and sent them off to another country, and they started coming back. But all the original ones that we did were entirely hand painted.
That's amazing.
And we had stores send every day. They would send there are people up. Do you have any left? Is there a new batch? And we were painting as fast as we could.
But isn't it interesting, because back in the day, and neither of us, are old, but if you go back 10 years, we used to, as retailers, pick up the phone. Hi, Gerard, I sold, 36 clips over the weekend. You have any more for me? Now, email, send it, look for everything online that you can find. If you don't have it in one store, you're going to another place. How do you think the internet has taken your business to a whole other level, or has it?
It has given people access to it. People anywhere in the world can find Gerard Yosca designs on there.
And do you think through, this whole new medium of shopping online that you've grown your business?
It's added another dimension to it.
The Gilt customer loves Gerard Yosca. So why did you choose to work with them?
I thought what they were doing was really new.
Pioneer.
Absolutely. I loved the fact that it was limited, that it was almost like a hit and run. Like it's here. If you don't buy it right now, it's gone.
I know that you've driven so many sales, on Gilt. And, that's one of the reasons we wanted to talk to you today, because, there's a connection there.
Well, I also want to say, what they did is add an excitement to shopping that I think the big stores don't have.
In a time when, everybody was down, oh, is it too expensive? What's happening to the world? I have to hold on to my money. And I think it's so weird that people are like, women aren't shopping. You know what? Do you think women ever lose their desire for beautiful things?
I don't think so. I hope not.
I, while doing my research, read that you started doing arts and crafts in your father's butcher shop. So I need a little bit of behind the scenes, this is your life, Gerard Yosca. How did it all begin for you?
My dad had a store, and I used to make like pom-pom animals, and I would make pom-pom bunnies for Easter, and I'd put them on the counter and sell them for 10 cents, and my father would bring me home money. So I had an income from probably when I was 7 years old.
Take me to the moment where you decided, okay, this could be a business, this could be my future.
I kind of went from arts and crafts into fine art, and then I got very interested. I went to Parsons, and I started doing advertising, then decided this is way too business-like. Like, it's not as creative as I thought it was going to be. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do fashion. Let's give this a try. And I started drawing really awful things to wear to clubs, and and I always drew a belt on it.
Right.
Then when I really realized I would have to go back to school, learn how to drape and sew and do all this, I thought, not for me. Maybe I can make the belt.
So I'm staring at this belt right here. I feel that this is a chapter in your life. Can you tell me about this belt here? I like it.
This is how many pounds of sterling? I don't know.
How quickly can I get it in my handbag is what I want to say, but okay. How many years ago did you make this?
Oh, this is about 27 years ago.
Stop it.
This is the bone belt.
So this was the first Gerard Yosca commercial creation, this belt?
There was no commercial at that point. I was trying to sell a belt, pay my rent.
So the jewelry evolved from here?
Yes. And you can see here that this is, it's very soft, it's very sculptural, and this is the kind of weird technique and hand that you can really see in a lot of my work. It goes straight through to today. I had to make something in fashion. I thought, so I'll make the belt. So I taught myself how to make jewelry.
You did. How'd you teach yourself?
I read books. I asked a million questions. I always encourage everyone, if you don't know something, just ask. I never learned how to make jewelry, but I could figure out from other things I've done how to get the result.
Right.
So my methods have always been unorthodox. And actually, I've carried those weird little ways of doing things through 20-something years later. It's amazing that this came out of this funny belt and the fact that I get to sit down and make things, which is the things that made me happiest as a kid.
So at Parsons, do you think that you learned a specific skill that you use every day today? Do you think it's necessary for designers to go to design school?
Yes. One of the things I learned that is so valuable is to look at everything. I mean, I had a teacher once that ran us through the library and was pulling cushions off, Mies van der Rohe chairs and showing us how the webbing worked and how it was welded. And this really had nothing to do with what we were studying, but it really opened my eyes to the design that is all around us.
And what is that design?
Well, there just is design. Every object is design. Some are really good, some are really bad.
So for an artist, for someone like you, how has that changed for you to be inspired?
It's really, when there's so much, I kind of shut a lot out. The things I don't look at are mostly other jewelry. I do look at fashion, but I look at things like furniture. I look at pottery. I look at sculpture. And I find that I have a sense of where the season is going, what my woman wants to wear. And I kind of focus on that. I try to stay pure to that. One of the things, I've never considered myself a jewelry designer.
Really?
I'm a fashion designer because what I do, there's a thread, there's a hand, all of those things that make it Gerard Yosca, but it changes dramatically season to season. It's really, it reacts to the times, it reacts to where I think people are going, what they're looking for, what they don't have, what will delight them, sometimes what will challenge them. So I change over and over again.
So tell me, my friend, what's next on the horizon for you? What's up with Gerard Yosca?
I'm so lucky. I'm really fortunate, but I'm so far from done.
I hope so.
I have a lot more I want to do a book. I have my archives. I would love to, I still lecture jewelry classes actually at FIT.
So do you consider yourself a mentor to people?
I try. I think it's really important to pass everything on. I have had past employees call up and say, I learned so much that I didn't even know I was learning working with you. And that's
how I feel about our chat today. I learned so much. I didn't even feel like I was interviewing you. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. It was so much fun.
You know what? You made this a great day. So thank you. I just left Gerard Yosca. I had the time of my life. This man makes gorgeous jewelry, but this man is a fabulous person, a true artist. I hope you're as excited as I am. I hope you had the best time, because this to me was a perfect day. Gerard, thank you.